welcome back to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. I'm going to do a quick message for Leo. Know that energy is fluid. Again, just interpret the message as it best resonates for you. Always know that the message usually goes to the person that needs to hear it. So even if you're not a Leo and you stumble across this video and you listen to it and you resonate with it and you're not a Leo, well, guess what? The message was meant for you because, again, spiritual energy works like a magnet. All right, goes to who needs to hear the message. Now, I wanted to, again, do a message for Leo because I forgot to do it. I think I skipped right to Virgo when meanwhile we're in Leo month. Can you get over that? I have a lot of friends that are Leo too. I don't know why that's anyway. So no, if you're new to the channel, anything of any importance to the channel you can find in the description box. You could also find important links, my website link, my Patreon link. I have two different subscriptions going, $7.99 one a month and a $9.99 a month. One subscription is for coaching one time a week, and it's soul healing, soul shadow healing that is combined with inner child healing and repatterning. So I also include breathwork, meditation, and EFT, and I will be adding to that list. I'm really excited to offer this like one time a week. So we do exercises on shadow healing. We work on your personal wounds, and you have the help and support of whoever is going to be in the group with you. And what's best of all is you get to recondition the effects of trauma, because understand when we go through experiences that are traumatic to us, they don't just keep us blocked in a limited perception about ourselves, but we wind up conditioning our, not just the mind, the way that we begin to think, but our body, because your body is your mind's faithful servant. So when we live in a place of survival mode, right? Fight, flight, or freeze, our body is in that state of survival. We're actually coming from a place of fear. And then we don't realize that we're actually rewiring our body and mind to live from that level of consciousness. And we can't really thrive in that energy. We can survive in that energy, but we're not meant to live long periods of time within that state of consciousness. So we're down here in physical form to learn and to manifest, and learning is not just seeing a different outcome, but it's actually understanding it. And the only way you would be able to understand something really truly is to live the experience. So when you integrate your soul wounds, your samskaras, it means you're getting to see a different perception of the reality and of the reality of that wound. The wound is, again, a perception that's made up of your thoughts and your emotions, and it's held in the body as stress, which is why I said it will condition your body. So this is why this information is important. Again, so we look at the spiritual energy first, Leo. Know that, again, energy is fluid, so it's going to be up to you to interpret the message as it best resonates. To keep the storyline straight, I may just pick a side again and say that it's Leo. I, of course, will feel out what side I feel like it is, but like I said, it will inevitably be up to you. Past life. See, whenever we're healing, we're in the place of healing. We do look at past life, and the reason why is because a soul connection, one that, again, that we feel like the person is home. There is this sense of familiarity. Well, that's a past life. Soulmate. We live many, many lifetimes, and we wouldn't learn everything that we needed to learn in one lifetime. And so scripture doesn't tell us that we live many lifetimes. But understand, if we're down here in physical form to learn and to manifest and learn that we're not separate from God, we have to see ourselves through all different perceptions, because God is all knowing. We tend to live the same experience, again, through a karmic theme. We keep reliving a karmic theme, which teaches us a level of consciousness. And then we begin to think that that's who we are. We identify with that level of consciousness. And so if that level of consciousness is of lack and limitation and full of pain, and we know that obviously it's a wound because it's not in alignment with the laws of God, the laws of love and the laws of nature. God is love, so it needs to be in alignment with the laws of love, obviously, because that's what it is, and the laws of nature, because nature is what God is, because God is the universe, is the energy of the universe, which is, again, unconditional love. So that energy is the only energy that transcends time and space. So when it's a past life soulmate, it's again, and when it's a spiritual lessons that are brought in from past life, it's again for our evolution in this life, and we're evolving into higher states of consciousness, which is to learn that we're not separate from source, and where we're not separate from this unconditional love that we wind up creating it a lot of times. So this is a big like soul card. It teaches us. It's very spiritual. Again, now this energy is more not of that. Tactlessness is not of spiritual energy that's of a high vibration. It's more from a fear-based consciousness, right? Tactlessness usually is, I'm only coming from my perspective, and my perspective could be crude at that time, it could be rude at that time, it could be, again, for whatever reason from my experiences that I've lived. Tactlessness is also usually means selfish. It's like I'm not thinking about anyone else at all. It's also one of, again, that's degrading, one that's just tasteless, and definitely the opposite vibration of unconditional love. We can feel that. Again, and then the genius part of self is the God part of self. The God part of self is the part of self that we connect to that other soul people in our soul family, right? You can feel them. Well, the genius part of self is what allows us to create. It allows us to, it allows us to transcend the limitations of ourself. So again, if we've come in with, again, from past life with a lot of trauma, we are able to transmute that karma through, again, the creative process. That creative genius is, again, that God part of self, is that supernatural part of ourself. So I'm feeling right now, Leo, that you are on your soul's purpose, but you are also in a place of healing, and healing mainly from anything that's out of alignment with your true self. So that's the underlying energy, which I love, because again, it makes you invincible, right? It's, again, it makes you unstoppable, because when you're able to look at things from a spiritual perspective, realizing that, you know, you're a spiritual being having human experiences, and every human has experiences where they didn't act the best, or again, they were acting from a limited consciousness due to an experience, but it's kept them stuck and blocked. We all have wounds. So this is a story, Leo, of, again, a Leo that is, you know, on their path, and they are really transmuting their karma. And their karma could also be past life karma that's has to do with ancestral karma. You know, we are born into families too that have the same karmic theme. So let's see what those themes are, and let's see how they're playing out in the current. Because understanding what they are allows us to know what we should do to shape shift the reality, to change the energy. Okay, disappointment. fear, attachment. I want to just pull few more. Victim, troublemaker, insecure, trust, dishonesty, expectations. Well, okay, so the wound is again like staying in a place of fear and due to like attachment, getting your love, getting your giving at one time too much of your energy to people. Again, to people that you were emotionally connected to and expecting their, them to give you back, right? Here's like expectation, but we knew that because you wouldn't get disappointed if there was an expectation. So we knew that already. But then what instead, a lot of times when we have expectation of someone that we feel is like a soul person or someone that's supposed to be important to us and they hurt us, well, again, it keeps us in fear. Again, and that fear is because we don't trust the person because the person has showed that they're not honest. And the reason why is because, again, because they're not honest, they want the upper hand. They want you to be in a place of victim. And because they want to keep you insecure. So again, this is a very toxic relationship like that you were in, that you were connected to someone that did this. And I believe that that's why you are on your path. And that is why you are, again, transmuting that energy, which is making you invincible. Because when we have a lot of pain, right, it's again a wound. Sometimes that wound really can't be healed without really like transmuting that energy, and that's through grounding, that's through doing something with the energy. It has to be channeled into some sort of purpose, into some sort of the word that I'm looking for, productivity. It would need to, like, you need to manifest with it. You need to see something of it that was positive, that was going to build your confidence up, because this person kept you in a place of insecure by really keeping you a victim, by really not being like honest with you. And so giving you trust issues, keeping you in a place of fear, like I said. However, this is coming from a real fear-based consciousness. So what you did was you put your energy into yourself and you transmuted this energy. And this is why, again, you're seen as invincible. And this is how you change that energy. So I want to see, like, again, what they feel now that you did all this, because like I said, I'm 99.999% sure that your person thought for sure that they were going to keep you stuck, that they were trying to keep you stuck in a place of fear. They wanted you to stay stuck on them because they could feel this is a past life connection, but the past life lesson for you was to not have attachment issues. I know we've told attachment. So again, this is what they wanted. So when we have a past life karmic mate, a lot of times it's that there's attachment issues with this karmic mate. And so what I see that you did was you put the energy into yourself. You began to love yourself more. I can't stop thinking about you. So if this is a real, again, it is a past life soulmate connection, but past life that had a lot of lessons. So understand, how do you make someone eat their karma? You make them eat their karma by, again, stepping into your true self, becoming the best version of yourself. And that is what you, again, that's how your reading started, we see what the person did. They played a lot of games. They wanted to keep you stuck in being a victim because they have attachment issues. And their attachment issues really, instead of them being open and honest, they're very negative. So what they do is they, keep you in a place of disappointment. They keep you stuck. So you took that energy and you were like, and you took it and you created with it. So of course this person is stuck. I regret lying to you. Again, the lie is the fact that they acted like they didn't care. I wish I could take back my words. I feel like when you tried to talk to them, they would twist things and they would again act like a jerk and just shut down, gaslight you, which was another reason what kept you in disappointment, because to have such a connection with somebody and then see how immature that they're acting, right? Again, past life connection, somebody that had this much power to affect you, when meanwhile they were toxic the whole time, and toxic mainly because you definitely had expectations with them. Finding out the truth crushed me. Feel like that's you in the skin. I love you. I wish I could share my good news with you. So this person, I feel like finding out the truth of the fact that you're doing very well is crushing them, to be honest with you. I feel like for you, finding out the truth of who they are crushed you about this person, because again, you had a connection to them. It's a past life connection. So it's again that there's chemistry there. There's, again, where the person is affected by the fact that you did this, that there was soul's connection. They weren't willing to do the work. They weren't willing to step it up. You, again, I feel like would have continued to give to this person because there was attachment issues. Again, soul recognition, a lot of times that happens. The person feels familiar, you automatically want to give them. Nevertheless, they weren't treating you well. So maybe you kept expecting them to be different, and in the fact that you didn't, you finally gave up, and then once you did, you put the energy to yourself. And that's why they're like finding out the truth of the fact that you've detached from them is what is crushing them, because now they want to talk to you. Now they wish that they could take back their words. Now they're reflecting on everything. They didn't before. You had to leave. You had to look real good doing it. You look real good doing it. Whatever you're doing now, again, you look invincible. You, again, looking good, smelling good. Everybody is noticing you, whatever you're doing. It's like, and I feel like it's triggering them. And that's what's making them feel like, I love you. I love you because this relationship was, I always cared. I just didn't want to act like I cared. I just didn't know what I wanted to do with this relationship. They, again, were very selfish, and now I'm feeling like they're afraid. I wish things could be different. It's like, I feel like they're afraid. Like they're like I made such a mess of this relationship because I played so many games. I've been getting a lot of these messages lately. And I guess it's because we are in spiritual times. So anything that's out of balance in our life is coming to a head in order for us to clear. Right? So we say, why do relationships happen like this? Well, anything that creates attachment, anything that is attachment creates fear, right? So some people tend to associate that attachment with love, though it's not. It's more, again, it's very, it's toxic, and it's toxic because it's again, we all are our own person. And if we begin to rely on other people to fulfill that within us, we'll always be disappointed. And we would find that we were always in a place of fear because the person would always, people come up short. So we have to do that for ourselves. And really, once you did it for yourself, this person now is looking at you completely different, where they would have never. Because I feel like they were cocky. They were okay playing these games. That's why they're stuck in a place of regret. I'm afraid of commitment. It says it all right there. They wanted their cake and eat it too. And that's really why they played all these games. But, you know, I feel like you knew that. That's why you left. That's why you put the energy into yourself. And now they're saying, well, I could possibly be in a relationship because I can see myself with you. And they can, because you've created yourself. I feel like this person normally gets into relationships that are like codependent. And that's why they might start off hot and heavy, but then wind up very toxic. And so they went into this relationship treating you the way that they treat everyone else, and just trying to keep them stuck, keeping the other person stuck, which was actually keeping themselves stuck too, because they were never seeing a different reality, but they were deliberately trying to keep you stuck, is what I'm meaning to say. And so that you would keep giving. Because sometimes when there's a soul relationship and there is a strong bond and we are codependent, we always continue to try to get it back to that blissful stage, when meanwhile the person has commitment issues. They're never going to give. Their way is to hold back, to keep you in a place of fear. So you'll continue to give. But when you transmute fear, you transmute it into fire, and what you did was you manifested, and now you're looking real good. Now it's, again, this person is like stuck because of what they did. I want to work things out, and of course they want to try and work things out, but they wanted to work things out once they see the good life. They see the good life. So they weren't here to help you build the good life. They weren't here during that time because they weren't viewing you through those perceptions. They were viewing you as like that you would have stayed stuck like everybody else. Now they see something that you're different, and now they're saying, oh, I want to be with you because I like what I see. But meanwhile, what they were seeing prior was just a projection of who they are. So that's the issue. So what is the healing advice? Because again, I want to know how you feel about them. Let's ask how you feel about them first, and then I want to know what the healing advice is for a person like this. Again, that's a past life, because we know if it's a past life and there was a soul thing, that it could be a relationship that's hard to like break away from. This person could actually have learned their lesson because they didn't give you the time of day, and now they're viewing you for who you truly are, and now they would come in being a better relationship. But if you're not interested, let's see, transformation. I feel like if this person comes back and acts as if like they are transformed, that they're different, that they're not afraid of commitment, that they're going to treat you better, that they're not going to play games, that you would give them the time of day. Awareness. Like it's all about that, really, like awareness of, again, that of how you want to be treated, of, again, whether they know what they did and how they did it, and whether they're willing to transform it, because it has the potential to be abundant. And that's what you know, even though the person like played these games. And I think it's mainly because they're a past life, they're a past life connection. Even though they played a lot of games, I think if they can come to you and be honest with you, that you would give them another chance. But understand this is a general message, but here in this story it's looking more like, and what allows you to be able to let go and not have animosity, I would like to know, is I long ago shut down those parts of me that wanted love, romance, and intimacy, but you make me long for those things again. So again, a soul's relationship can do that, can make us change. So I feel like your person is changing because, again, you walked away and then you looked like you had a great life. They thought that they were going to toy with you, like almost like a cat and mouse, and how they treated everybody else. You showed them exactly who you are. They stopped long enough to actually see who you are. You gave enough of them that they actually wanted to get to know you. They just didn't want a committed relationship. They're afraid of commitment because, again, all their past relationships, but they actually could see, have a new awareness of how the relationship can be because you were different. And what they see is they see abundance, where normally they're always coming from like a place of lack and fear. So again, souls relationships make people want to change. I'm realizing this connection is something special and worth treasuring. And I think it's because they tried to walk away and they tried to, like, they see that they weren't really nice, and the fact that you would still have unconditional love for them, that they see that and that it's worth something. You think I'm not listening to you, but I am. I hear everything that you say and even replay it. Like, again, connection. So this person just isn't good expressing their emotions, but you definitely impact them. Again, I believe showing them a different way to live, a different way to be. Again, a better way to live, a better way to be. I feel like this person was very logical and analytical because they came from a place of hurt, and you do not live life that way. And you did not handle their betrayal in a negative way either. I don't think you were like, yay, but I definitely don't think that you were like, curse the man or anything. You put it as like, this is your issue, not mine. And you just detached, and it was so classy, and the way that you handled it, they never experienced that. I don't even think that they realized you let go when you let go. You let go, and then you like created abundance in your own life. So that's why they know that the relationship with you would be abundant because you would pull your weight. These people that they normally are with are codependent. So they may be getting their emotional needs met like sexually, but they're not really, the people that they're with are never like financially able to bring anything to the table. So it's never a very equal relationship. I need to move slowly with this, but trust that I am moving, even when it seems that I'm not. So your person's coming towards you. It's just, they're still in that place of healing. They still have commitment issues. However, this relationship is making them change. This relationship is teaching you patience, is what I feel, and the fact of unconditional love, because there still is. And it's because it's a past life connection, and it doesn't really matter everything that they did. Your person still has feelings. You still have feelings. And in the end of the day, it's like they do care, but the way that they deal with relationships, the way that they communicate is much different than yours. So there is kind of almost like a learning curve there. Any last spiritual advice that spirit would want us to know and how to deal with this relationship? I mean, I'm telling you straight away, obviously you're gonna, if you want this relationship to work, you would definitely need to have patience and continue to stay on your path, because that is what is the different factor here, is that you're not codependent. You don't have attachment issues. This person has commitment issues. The moment that you let go, they will like, oh, I'm in love with this person because look, they can have their own life. They're not going to fight me. They're not going to manipulate me. They're not going to make me feel bad. And in the fact that you walked away, they actually had time to really take a look at you, really think about you, and really see a different part of you that was past their own limited perception of who you are, which was jaded by who they've dated previously. But they still need healing. And so they know that. That's why they're like, please be patient with me. It's going to take some time. Okay, the path to light. I make the conscious choice to move towards the light one step at a time. I transform my weakness into strength by mastering my thoughts. I overcome obstacles. I develop my gifts and extend my light to every being unconditionally. So this is still talking about not losing your, unique individuality, not losing who you are in this person. And it's also about like knowing that, yes, this person like has wounds, but if you're not going to feed them by, again, feeding your own passions and keeping your mind with a positive state of mind, you both, this person does care. They're going to follow suit because it's, again, the path to light. So it doesn't mean that the path to light doesn't mean that you're not going to come to obstacles. What it says here is you have to overcome obstacles, okay, with productivity, right, and positivity, by creating. And when we are doing for ourselves, it makes us feel good. So the answer would be that you can be in the relationship with this person and this person still has, but you would, again, still be on your path because they're changing, because they like the energy that you have. Again, they can see the relationship work out. They've never been in a relationship like this before. So it's, again, this is what's making them change. So again, and I feel like you do care. It's, again, it's general message. So again, some of you, I'm sure, are going to be like, no, well, again, that's not your reading. This is not your reading. But for the ones that are like, yes, well, how would I deal with this? Because they're still going to get triggered. We're still going to have, you work through them. You work through your obstacles by, again, not losing your unique individuality and by keeping your mind positive. And you keep your mind positive by who you surround yourself and where you're choosing to put your time, your energy, your focus, and your money. You don't lose your way because that's what has intrigued this person to begin with. And that's how you do it. So I'm going to leave it there. And if you resonated with this, Leo, let me know. And again, I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.